So, in your view, why is there all of this red tape in California when it comes to cannabis? And what, in your view, do you think can be done about it, if anything?
Well, the red tape of cannabis is it's the antithesis to the greatness of our plant that we have to deal with. Is we have to deal with all of this other stuff.
Mm,
Now, from my perspective, obviously we've come so very far. So I see it a little
sure.
differently than most. My for many years, I had a 50-50 chance of going to jail at the end of the day, simply because
Mm,
I was operating a dispensary. My friend Virgil Grant, who's the head of the California Minority Alliance, he went to jail for 6 years, to federal prison, for doing exactly the same thing I was doing.
mm,
So the threat was real and it was a volatile time. So, in order for you to see where we're at now with the laws and the rules, you have to look to the history of some of the things that we had to deal with to get here. And while it might seem like LA is a little bit more friendly now and California in general are more friendly, they used to do little things that were going to be de facto bans on us. And one of the biggest issues was zoning. So, where you look at all
mm,
the basics of everything that we're having an issue with today really comes down straight to zoning. Um, Finding a location that's compliant under the state laws and rules is extremely difficult because the city of LA and most cities in California were built in such a way that there is a church 1,000 feet within all neighborhoods and schools. So
yeah.
you had to find these little pockets. Now they have these people in the social equity issues renting out locations. Somebody else gets a location a block away, they get the license ahead of them, and then they're zoned out of the location that they've been paying for forever. So all
Mm,
of these situations stem from way back in the day, and a lot of it comes from people not reading the bills that they were voting for, or just Prop 64 was, we had no on Prop 64 signs all over our dispensary, and we advocated as at GLACA at the time that this is a ridiculous thing. It's not legalization like they're selling it. It's tax and regulate. And people are like,
right.
no, no, no. You just want to have the keep the dispensaries to yourself and have the pie to yourself. And we're like, that you're missing the point. Read it. Look at the tax structure that they're about to implement. It's going to be insane. And fell on deaf ears. And of course, now we're living in the problems that stem from it. So, when it comes down to the red tape, everything is based in history. One of my absolute favorite stories is the city attorney of Los Angeles, Carmen Trutanich at the time, and the district attorney, Steve Cooley, back in, like, I think it was 2011, took a can of Raid and sprayed the feet of all the journalists standing in front of them and said, "This is on all the marijuana in Los Angeles." And guess what? That was where lab testing was born from. And so all of a sudden, lab testing became necessity because of that. So
Wow.
it's this trickle down theory, if you will, or trickle up, if you will, to
Mm-hmm.
where we're at now. You have to just follow the history over and over and over again. So the zoning, the raid issue, every one of those little things compiled into what we're dealing with now. And it's not a surprise to those of us who have been doing this for so long, but the reaction to it amongst the community is a bit of a surprise because we're like, you voted for it. Did you not read the bill that you voted for?
Right.